She arrived at his mansion with nothing but a baby strapped to her back and dirt under her fingernails. The young millionaire watched from his window, stunned by the sight. Little did he know, this humble gardener would change his life forever. If you're touched by stories of unexpected connections and second chances, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming tales that remind us what truly matters in life. Rain pounded against the windows of Ethan Reed's sprawling estate as he paced the marble floors of his home office. At 34, he had everything money could buy, except peace. The tech company he'd built from nothing had made him a millionaire several times over, but the success felt hollow since losing his wife 3 years ago. Lightning flashed, illuminating the gardens that had fallen into disrepair. Ethan barely noticed anymore. The once beautiful landscape had become like everything else in his life, something he simply walked past without seeing. The doorbell rang, an unusual occurrence at 7 a.m. His housekeeper had the day off, so Ethan made his way to the door himself, expecting a package delivery. Instead, he found a young woman standing in the downpour, her clothes soaked through. More surprising was the small bundle strapped to her back, a sleeping baby, somehow protected from the worst of the rain by the woman's careful positioning. "Mr. Reed?" she asked, her voice steady despite her drenched appearance. "I'm Maya Winters. I'm here about the gardening position." Ethan blinked in confusion. "In this weather? With a baby?" "The bus only comes this way once a day," she explained simply. "And my babysitter canceled last minute. I apologize for the unprofessional appearance, but I really need this job." Something in her eyes, a quiet determination, made Ethan step aside. "Come in before you both catch pneumonia." As Maya stepped into the foyer, water pooling beneath her worn boots, Ethan noticed she walked with a slight limp. When she turned to thank him, he saw the reason, a prosthetic leg visible beneath her rolled-up pant leg. "The interview was scheduled for tomorrow," Ethan said, fetching towels from a nearby closet. "I know," Maya replied, gently shifting the baby to her arms. "But the forecast said clear skies today. I wanted to see the grounds before meeting with you officially. To prepare properly." The baby stirred, and she soothed him with practiced ease. "What's his name?" Ethan asked, surprising himself with the question. "Noah," she answered, a smile transforming her tired face. "He's 8 months old." Ethan led them to the kitchen, where he made coffee while Maya dried off and tended to Noah. There was something about her, a quiet dignity despite circumstances that would break most people. "So you're a gardener?" he asked, placing a mug before her. "I have a degree in landscape architecture," she corrected gently. "I worked for Harrington Designs until they downsized last year." "Harrington?" Ethan raised an eyebrow. "They design for celebrities and royalty." Maya nodded. "I was part of the team that redesigned the botanical gardens downtown. But then Noah came, and priorities shifted." "And his father?" Her expression closed slightly. "Not in the picture." Ethan recognized the boundary and respected it. "Well, you're here now. Would you like to see the gardens, despite the rain?" Maya's eyes lit up. "Very much." They toured the grounds under large umbrellas, Noah now awake and watching raindrops with fascination from his carrier. As they walked, Maya didn't see an overgrown mess, she saw potential. She spoke of native plants that would thrive, sustainable designs that would require less maintenance, spaces that could become peaceful retreats. "You see things differently," Ethan observed. Maya glanced at her prosthetic leg. "When you lose something fundamental, you learn to find beauty in unexpected places." By the time they returned to the house, Ethan had made his decision. "The job is yours if you want it." "Just like that?" Maya looked surprised. "Don't you want references? A portfolio? I've seen how you look at my neglected gardens, like they're worth saving. That's enough for me." Maya's eyes filled with tears. She quickly blinked away. "There's something you should know. Noah comes with me or I don't come at all." I can't afford childcare on what this position pays. Ethan considered this. There's a cottage at the edge of the property. The previous gardener lived there. It needs work, but it's yours if you want it. No rent. Consider it part of your compensation. Why would you do that for someone you just met? Ethan looked out at the rain-soaked gardens. Because this place needs life again. And it seems you two might bring that. Over the following weeks, Maya transformed not just the gardens but the atmosphere of the entire estate. She worked with focused intensity, Noah often nearby in a portable playpen or strapped to her back. The gardens began to breathe again under her care, and somehow, so did Ethan. He found himself lingering in the gardens, watching her work. Sometimes he'd hold Noah while Maya tackled more demanding tasks. The baby seemed to accept him instantly, grabbing at his expensive watches and giggling at his serious expressions. He likes you, Maya observed one afternoon, wiping soil from her hands. Kids usually don't, Ethan admitted. I think they sense I have no idea what I'm doing. You're doing fine, she assured him. Besides, Noah's a good judge of character. As spring turned to summer, Ethan learned Maya's story in pieces. How she'd lost her leg in a car accident at 19. How she'd fought through rehabilitation and still completed her degree. How she'd worked her way up at Harrington only to be let go when the economy turned. What she didn't talk about was Noah's father, and Ethan didn't press. He had his own silences about his wife's death. One evening, Ethan found Maya sitting on a bench in the newly finished rose garden, Noah asleep against her shoulder. It's beautiful, he said, gesturing to the garden. Thank you for giving me the chance to create it, she replied. Ethan sat beside her. I should be thanking you. This place was dying before you came. Places don't die, Maya said softly. They wait. Something in her words touched a place in Ethan he thought had closed forever. My wife loved gardens, he found himself saying. After she died, I couldn't bear to see them thrive without her. Maya's hand found his in the gathering dusk. I'm sorry for your loss. Cancer, he said simply. 3 years ago. They sat in companionable silence until Noah stirred. I should get him to bed, Maya said. Let me walk you to the cottage, Ethan offered. Under the stars, with Noah babbling between them, something shifted. A possibility neither had considered began to take root. The change in their relationship happened gradually, like the gardens Maya tended. A shared meal here. A laugh there. Ethan working from the cottage while Maya planted nearby. Noah taking his first steps toward Ethan one sunny afternoon, both adults freezing in wonder at the milestone. By fall, they had become something neither could define but both treasured. Not quite a couple, but more than employer and employee. A family, perhaps, though neither dared name it. Then came the storm that changed everything. It began with a letter delivered to the cottage. Maya's hands trembled as she read it, her face draining of color. What is it? Ethan asked, immediately concerned. Noah's father, she whispered. He wants custody. The story spilled out then, how Maya had briefly dated James Calloway, heir to a shipping fortune, never knowing his true identity or wealth. How when she told him about her pregnancy, he'd accused her of trying to trap him and disappeared. How she'd struggled alone, never asking for child support, wanting nothing from a man who could so easily walk away. And now he wants Noah? Ethan couldn't hide his anger. His parents found out about Noah, Maya explained. They're pressuring him to do the right thing. They've hired investigators. They know where we live. They can't just take him, Ethan insisted. You're his mother. They have resources I don't, Maya said, fear evident in her voice. The best lawyers, connections with judges. They're saying I'm unfit because of my disability, because I can't provide what they can. That's absurd, Ethan fumed. You're the most capable person I know. It doesn't matter. They'll paint me as a gold digger who trapped their son. A gardener living in a cottage I don't even own. Ethan paced the small living room. We'll fight this. I have resources too. Maya looked up, hope flickering in her eyes. Why would you do that? Because Ethan stopped, the truth suddenly clear. Because I love you both. The words hung between them, unexpected but undeniable. Ethan, Maya whispered, I can't ask you to fight my battles. You didn't ask. I'm offering. He knelt before her. I've been alone in that big house for 3 years. Then you arrived with dirt under your fingernails and a baby on your back, and suddenly I wasn't alone anymore. Tears spilled down Maya's cheeks. I love you too. But this isn't your problem. It is if I want it to be, Ethan said firmly. Let me help you fight for Noah. The legal battle was brutal. James Calloway's family wielded their influence like a weapon, painting Maya as an opportunist and questioning her ability to parent with a disability. They offered substantial financial settlements if she would relinquish custody. Through it all, Ethan stood by her side. He hired the best lawyers, testified to her character and capabilities, and made it clear that Maya and Noah had a home with him for as long as they wanted. The turning point came unexpectedly. James's mother, Elaine Calloway, arrived unannounced at the estate. Ethan met her at the door, ready for confrontation. I'd like to see where my grandson lives, she said stiffly. Against his better judgment, Ethan led her through the gardens where Maya was working, Noah playing nearby on a blanket. Elaine watched silently as Maya moved efficiently despite her prosthetic, stopping frequently to check on Noah, who squealed with delight each time he saw her. She designed all this? Elaine asked, gesturing to the transformed landscape. Every inch, Ethan confirmed. She's brilliant at what she does. They watched as Noah crawled to Maya, who scooped him up and covered his face with kisses, both laughing. My son said she was after our money, Elaine said quietly. She didn't even know who he was when they met, Ethan replied. And she's never asked him for a penny. Something in Elaine's expression changed. James was supposed to come today. To see his son. He's in Monte Carlo instead. Ethan said nothing, letting the contrast speak for itself. She's a good mother, Elaine finally admitted. The best, Ethan agreed. 2 days later, the Calloways withdrew their custody suit. The official reason was a private settlement, but Ethan suspected Elaine had seen what truly mattered, a child being raised with love, regardless of circumstances. 1 year later, the gardens of Reed Estate hosted a small wedding. Maya wore wildflowers in her hair and carried a bouquet of blooms she had planted herself. Noah, now a toddler, served as ring bearer, though he was more interested in the butterflies fluttering around the roses. As they exchanged vows under an arbor Maya had designed, Ethan thought about the morning she had arrived in the rain, a stranger with nothing but determination and a baby on her back. You saved me, he whispered as they shared their first kiss as husband and wife. Maya smiled against his lips. We saved each other. In the front row, Elaine Calloway dabbed at her eyes, now a regular visitor and doting grandmother. Life had come full circle in ways none of them could have imagined. That night, as Noah slept peacefully and the gardens glowed under soft lighting, Ethan and Maya stood on the terrace of what was now truly their home. Did you ever imagine this? Ethan asked, his arm around her waist. Maya leaned into him. That first day, in the rain? Not in my wildest dreams. I think part of me knew, Ethan admitted. The moment I saw you standing there, something broken inside me started to heal. We were both broken in different ways, Maya said. Maybe that's why we fit. As they looked out over the gardens that had brought them together, the message was clear. Sometimes life's most beautiful blooms grow from the most unexpected seeds. All they need is someone who sees their potential and gives them room to grow. If this story touched your heart, please like and subscribe for more tales that remind us how love can find us in the most unexpected ways. Remember, sometimes our greatest challenges lead us to our greatest blessings.